Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of Kit Conspiracy. This is a bonus layout using the Ginger Snap collection from Pretty Little Studio, which was from week 2. I did way more layouts than there were days available in the week, so I am going to go ahead and just share those as I can at the end of the month or into December. So I started out with these. I have actually four photos here, and I am using a flip flap from Close to My Heart in a 4x6 portrait style. And I am taking my paper that I am backing my photos with, and I am just painting the edge of it to match the layout. And I used a combination of the Honeymoon Shimmers paint with a tad bit of Merlot Catherine Pooler ink in it to kind of redden it up a little to make it a little bit more wine colored rather than just purple. But I wanted to keep the shimmer, so I wanted to make sure I mixed the two rather than just going straight to a different ink in the Catherine Pooler collection, because there are a couple of inks that would have worked as well. And I really like how this looks, so I just kind of brushed that paint on around the outside edge, and I'm going to back my photos in that paper. The paper is just 4.5 by 6.5 inch photo photo mats that I purchased in a 100 pack at Hobby Lobby. And I really like those because I don't have to cut into my white 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 paper. There's very little waste because my photos are slightly smaller than a 4 by 6. I just have to cut a little bit off of each edge, and then I am pretty much done. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the two photos into the flip flap that belong in the flip flap. And then I will go ahead and stick my other two photos down just to make sure that I get the placement correct and that the flip flop is going to work as expected. So this layout doesn't have a lot of extra stuff on it because the paper is really doing a ton of the work for me. It's already super busy, and rather than cutting it up, which I could have done that, I decided just to go with it and embrace the format of the paper as it is. And what I'm doing is I'm just marrying up a few of the fronds and leaves and flowers out of the uh, floral ephemera pack that I have, or leaf pack that I have, and going to pop those up onto some foam to give some added dimension. And I think it looks really good that way. I don't add a ton of other stuff. Will be adding a title and everything on this particular layout, but other than that, I don't add very much in the way of embellishments. So I am fussy cutting around my leaves because I don't like the larger white border, and they're not 100% even anyway, so I want to go ahead and clean those up a bit before I go ahead and stick them down. I didn't make you sit through all of the fussy cutting. I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of foam to the back of each one of these pieces that I did do the cleanup on, and that's going to give just added dimension in my album and on this page, and I really like how that looks. While I do that, I will tell you a little bit about Kit Conspiracy in case you missed it. In November and April each year, MK over on her channel, Some Assemblage Required, and I kit up the same kits, and then we proceed to do as many layouts as we can with them throughout the week. Um, that we have 4 kits for the month, and we switch kits each week. So that gives us a kit share day and 6 more days to go ahead and use up as much as we can out of the kit. We do commit to posting at least 3 layouts. Usually I have a layout for almost every single day, plus a few extras. I find this is a great way to use up photos that come in a series of photos or for an event where you have a lot of photos. It's not the best way, for me at least, to use up like individual photos where I just have onesie twosies, because, well, you can certainly do it that way, but this gives me a good collection to work with and use up things from an entire event because I know it's going to all match throughout because the collection all matches. Anyway, that's what we do. So if you missed any of that, I will put a link at the end here for the Kit Conspiracy playlist, and you can go check out all of the layouts that I've done over the past couple of years for Kit Conspiracy using different collections. So I am using just some foam from Walmart that is adhesive backed on one side. The other side I use a little liquid glue. Nuvo Deluxe adhesive is my glue of choice to adhere it to the page. And then usually I put my acrylic block right over the top of it to kind of hold it in place while I work on other portions of the layout. I like using the acrylic block because you guys can see what's under it. Doesn't really distract from the view, but and it adds enough weight to hold everything in place while I continue to work. So that is like my third hand. So now I've got some thickers. I think these are thicker brand. I'm not 100% sure. I know I have some from Pink Fresh Studio and some from thickers. So I'm kind of mixing and matching the golds that are the closest together. And I'm going to title this layout Unforgettable Love. These are photos of my niece and her two girls, and then in the flip flap is her husband on the opposite side where he's barbecuing for their baby shower or their barbecue gathering to celebrate the pending arrival of their son. So I really liked that title, and now that I've brought some gold into this upper right hand corner, I'm going to bring some gold to the lower left by adding some sprigs, and I decided to add some of these sprigs to several of the little raised elements that I've added to this layout, whether it be a flower or a leaf. And I really like the way that that looks. It's just adding some added dimension and a little bit of extra sparkle, but it's not getting not getting over the top crazy with this layout that already has a lot of detail on it that was provided by the background paper. I'm just going to add a couple of these little open hearts. On this top flip flap, I am going to add a little journaling spot. I started out with a heart there, but I take that off and I found a little bracket or label looking piece, and I'm going to back that with a piece of the white paper like I used for the backing of the photos, and I'm just going to put a little bit more of that Shimmer's paint, which is still, I think I still have some either on my desk or in my paintbrush. I haven't washed the paintbrush yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to it just to pinken it up a little, a really light wine color there. And then I'm gonna, pardon me, fussy cut around that and add that to the outside of the flip flap so that we can do a little bit of journaling there. I'm gonna pretty much leave most of the journaling for my niece to do since it was her special day. She could also write on those grid lines that are behind the photos, but I think that gives a great place. Now, I didn't photograph it with the flip flap on there because it's not in its page protector. With the glare, it's a little bit difficult to do that. But this is the overall layout. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions or comments, leave those down below. I will be back in December with another series called Wood Grain and Winter, and I will probably be interspersing some of these Kit Conspiracy layouts that were extras in between. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.